Well, thank you very much. And I want to thank Alex for his arguments. I want to start by saying that with all due respect, Alex is wrong. We are not in COPAC 2. We are not about to change the constitution. We are not making a new constitution. We have a constitution that exists. We have a constitution that is there. It is there in black and white. And this is not the first time that recalls have taken place. Sometime I've forgotten the year. Morgan Tsvangirai, who was in the same party with Tendai Biti and Alex Magaisa and myself, recalled the entire Chitungwiza councillors on the basis that what they had done had ceased to accord with the principles of the party. We recalled them. And it was all right. And my friend Magaisa didn't raise any issue on that. After the rebellion by Tendai Biti and company, Morgan Tsvangirai, myself, and Alex Magaisa was a member of that party. We recalled 21 members of parliament on the basis that they had ceased to belong to the MDC-T. In May 2018, Nelson Chamisa, in his capacity as the president of the MDC-T, recalled Thokozani Kupe from parliament on the basis that Thokozani Kupe had ceased to belong to the MDC-T. After the Supreme Court ruling, we have recalled members of parliament. Now, we don't change laws, we don't change attitudes because the people who are being recalled are our friends or are our comrades. The law is the law. Now, the question is, in recalling these people, did the MDC behave in accordance with the law? I already said Section 129 of the Constitution provides for instances where a party can recall members of parliament. And it is that section that we used. And when we used that section, we were challenged both at parliament and in the courts of law. We succeeded in the court of law. We were adjudged to be right. And there is a section that deals with councillors, Section 278. We followed that section and we went on to recall, just as we had done before. ZANU-PF has recalled its members of parliament as well, and so on. Now, in terms of the MDC constitution, and again, I go to Alex there. He is talking about the issue of fair hearing and so on. His assumption is that the constitution of the MDC was not followed. In terms of the constitution of the MDC, if you cease to belong to the MDC-T, if you form another political party other than the MDC-T, the termination of your membership is automatic. And this is a very, very clear and short clause in the Constitution. If you form another political party, or if you cease to belong to the MDC-T, your termination is automatic. In other words, you terminate your membership yourself. These MPs, these councillors have recalled themselves by joining another political party. How did we know? Whether wisely or unwisely, what the MDC alliance people went on to do after the Supreme Court judgment was to produce massively affidavits. And these affidavits were to the effect to be signed by the elected officials, including the MPs. These affidavits were to the effect that they had ceased to belong to the MDC-T and that they were now members of the MDC Alliance Party. Now, in court documents, some of the MPs went on to say that they had ceased to belong to the MDC-T, or they seemed to have been oblivious of Section 510A of the MDC Constitution, which says that if you cease to belong to the MDC-T, if you form another political party or belong to another political party, you automatically terminate your membership. So it was their fault. And these are people who should have known better. We are talking of people who were secretary generals of the party, people who had access to legal services. Now, the question that Alex has asked, did these people belong to the MDCT or to the MDC Alliance? On the 5th of August, 2017, Morgan Tsvangirai and 6 political leaders concluded and signed an alliance agreement. This alliance agreement was concluded and signed at the Zimbabwe grounds. And this alliance agreement is in 2 parts. The first one, it is a non-compete pre-election pact. The second part is that it is a you form a coalition government with the people of the same party. You form a coalition government with the people of different parties. So that was the nature of the alliance agreement. It was the constitutive agreement. It was the constitutive document.
Can I come in? The question which is being asked out there is why is the MDCT recalling parliamentarians? Is it to do with the constitution, or is it politics at play? Before you come back to that, I will just ask Alex to come in with some of the issues you raised yourself. Alex? Alex?
Yes, I have. Thank you very much. Look, I don't want to take a lot of time because we've got many people who I think have got very brilliant ideas. I just wanted to pose 2 simple questions to my brother, Mr. Mun. MDC Alliance members who have chosen to declare their allegiance to the MDC Alliance automatically expelled themselves from the MDCT. My question is, why then has it taken the MDCT to act in stages, recalling 6 MPs there, recalling 7 MPs there, recalling a few councillors here, a few councillors there? Do they not know that all these MPs and all these councillors, because they are members of the MDC Alliance, have chosen to align themselves with the MDC Alliance? Why are they doing it in stages? They are doing it in stages because it's political. And this is why I'm saying that it's the weaponization of the law. They could easily have gone to the Speaker of Parliament and to the President of the Senate and to the Minister of Local Government and said all these MPs and councillors who belong to the MDC Alliance have ceased to become members of the MDCT by virtue of their allegiance to the MDC Alliance, and therefore we are now recalling them. But instead, they are doing so in a very staged process, which is part of what I refer to as the weaponization and abuse of the law. Second is the issue of what he talks about, the MDC Alliance constitutive document. That is an internal matter within the MDC Alliance itself. The Speaker of Parliament does not have a quasi-judicial role. But if he accepts that the Speaker of Parliament has a quasi-judicial role to carry out a factual inquiry into the internal matters of a party, then of course it changes the whole argument, because it says that these MPs should have been given a fair hearing by the Speaker before they were recalled. But he did not do that. He simply accepted what he had been given by the MDCT in order to...
Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Alex.
Okay.
Unmute yourself. Yes. Unmute yourself.
Yes. Now, Alex...
Very briefly, Treasurer.
Very briefly, Alex makes a point that these MPs are being recalled in stages. Yes, because we are dealing with these people on a case-by-case basis. We rely on evidence that is before us. And before we get that evidence, we cannot just recall people. So we recalled people on the basis of the evidence as it manifested itself. We looked at this on a case-by-case basis. You will find that those who were recalled first have documents which they signed before the court of law. But what is important is that the MDC Alliance has a constitutive document, which is not a private document. It is a public document, the MDC Alliance Agreement, that nobody wants to talk about. And that Alliance Agreement says that it is a pre-election pact, it is a post-election coalition agreement. It goes on to say that each political party retains its individual identity and autonomy. That is Section 2. Section 3 goes on to say that each political party will be given a quota of MPs or councillors to fill under the alliance. And then it goes to say in clause 4.1.7 that each of the political parties has the right to recall its members of parliament. So the MDC Alliance was not a political party in the convention at the time of the election. Rang number 2, they ceased to belong to the MDCT. Now, Alex says the MDC Alliance, the MDC Alliance as opposed to the MDC Alliance Party. He should have listened to David Coltart. David Coltart said in one of his tweets that the MDC Alliance had been formed as a political party in May 2019. And then in 2020, we had the MDC Alliance producing a constitution in June of 2020. If we go by what Coltart says, then the MDC Alliance Party did not compete in the elections because it was formed at Gweru, according to David Coltart. And if we go by its constitution produced in 2020, it was formed in 2020. These MPs belonged to the MDCT. They were subjected to due process. Thank you very much. I would want to thank everybody who has directed their questions to me. I want to address the two professors, Professor Denere and Professor Madonsela. Thank you very much for your comments, but there is one point that I want to make clear. Are we discussing law, constitution, or are we discussing morality? We are discussing law. What does the law say? What does the constitution say? Does the constitution of Zimbabwe provide for recalls? Does the constitution of South Africa provide for recalls? Yes, they provide for recalls. President Jacob Zuma, addressing Honorable Madonsela, President Jacob Zuma survived 7 votes of no confidence in the parliament. The ANC had not gone to the people, to the generality of the South Africans, the 59 million, to say we are about to pass a vote of no confidence. They acted as a party. President Mbeki was removed, was recalled by the ANC. It was not preceded by a referendum of the South African people. So was President Zuma. It is the same principles that apply. Now, I want to answer the question by Professor Denere about where the people are. Where is the voter? Let's remember that the voter in this country voted for a constitution in a referendum in 2013. That constitution provides for political rights. It provides for formation of political parties as agents of the people. And that same constitution goes on to give the political powers of recall. And to Professor Denere, let me again correct you there. Zimbabwe does have a party list system. This is what we call proportional representation, where a party provides a list of people to be elected either into Senate or into the National Assembly as part of the women's quota. And those people are chosen by a political party. And when it comes to recall, they are recalled by that political party that chose them. They are replaced by that political party that recalled them. That is what the law says. When it comes to the people who are directly elected by the electorate, the law gives the political party the power of recall, and that person is subjected back to the electorate, and the electorate can vote for that person or not for that person. So they are not completely prejudiced. So there is involvement of the people. I want to go to my brother Brian, and I want to say thank you very much for what you have said, and it was very passionate. But you betrayed one thing, my brother. You did not research. And I want to demonstrate to you, my brother, and you can check this. The Congress that was held in Gweru, the Congress in which I unsuccessfully contested the post of Secretary General, was not an MDC Alliance Congress. It was an MDC Tsvangirai Congress. How do you know that, Brian? You go to the resolutions of that Congress. You will see, and you can Google them. It is they are entitled Resolutions of the 50th Congress of the MDC. And again, it was called the 50th Congress. And if it was the Congress of the MDC Alliance, it should have been the first Congress. In the same year, 2019, in September or October, I think 14 October, we celebrated the 20th anniversary of the MDC. It couldn't have been the MDC Alliance because the MDC Alliance was barely a year old. So again, you did not look at facts, my brother. And I want to refer you to go to the Twitter handle of Nelson Chamisa between end of February 2019 to end of June 2019. You will see Chamisa there telling people about the MDC Congress. And if you go to the election material for Welshman Ncube, Charlton Nwende, and so on, their campaign posters, they are campaigning for the MDC. If you go to the resolutions read by Tabitha Khumalo, she refers to the MDC and not the MDC Alliance. The MDC Alliance, that is why also at the same Congress, we welcomed back into the party Welshman Ncube and Tendai Biti. We couldn't have welcomed back people who were forming a party, whom we were forming a party with. They were coming back from to the MDC.
Let's sum up, Tejara, please.
So the point I'm making is that everything that was done, it was done above board. That is what the law says. That is what the constitution of the MDC says. We in the MDC want to take over governmental power through peaceful, democratic, and constitutional means. And one of the starting points is that we must respect our constitution to the letter, no matter how inconvenient it may be to certain people, no matter how it may have prejudiced our friends. We have recalled people because they did not belong to our political parties. Some of the people we recalled is because they are fingered in corruption. Some of them are facing 17 counts of corruption, and we have recalled them in line with our stance against corruption.
Thank you, Tejara.